Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237. Coming at you with another review of a recent horror film, the last 10 years. But first, I'm just going to do a little update of some stuff I picked up yesterday. Every year for tax returns, I take a little bit, treat myself more than usual. And I got some stuff I've been wanting to pick up for a while, and some stuff I found for surprisingly cheap. So picked it up anyway. This I decided to get because it was literally $3, and the remake is out next weekend, and I have to finish the series of reviews anyway. And that is just a copy of H.G. Wells' The Invisible Man, which I've always wanted to read the story anyway. And also for books, I got the volume 11 of Tom King's Batman. See how volume 11 is. As far as movies go, this is a remake that came out in 2018. Hated the idea of it at first. Then I heard it was really pretentious. But the more I hear about it, the more interested I am in seeing it. That is Suspiria. I'm actually really intrigued to check this out now. This is actually a double pack. I used to have the first movie. I have no idea what happened to it. And this was kind of pricey, but I thought, fuck it, I want to get them again anyway. That is Necromantic and Necromantic 2. Of course, it comes with the Blu-rays of the actual covers. But yeah, I really like the first of Necromantic. I haven't seen the second one yet, but glad to have that back. And these are all random films. Like, this is one from the 30s that I've always wanted to get, really need to see and review it, and that is Todd Browning's Freaks from 1932. Some of these are like third-party bootlegs or just cheaply made versions, but as long as they play, I really don't care. Boris Karloff's last film, also with Christopher Lee, Curse of the Crimson Altar. Of course, anything with Karloff is going to be great. This is I guess it's an erotic, gory thriller. Not directed by Clive Barker, but based on a story of his, Book of Blood. Sorry the lighting isn't that great in here. I forgot to fix the lamp before I did anything. This is different than the Angelina Jolie thriller, which I do enjoy. This is one of the few... Well, actually, I do like a lot of classic haunted house movies, but I saw this years and years and years ago. Don't remember much. George C. Scott, The Changeling, which the Angelina Jolie film is not a remake of. This is most likely a bootleg because this is as shitty a cover as The Devil's Messenger and Satanic Rites of Dracula. But it's another Mario Bava film with Christopher Lee. That is The Whip in the Body. Whodunit mystery, ghost story, romantic horror, which, yeah, looks like a period piece, Lifetime film. And I picked up the movie that I'm going to be reviewing in this video, and that is from 2014. I believe 14? Yeah, pretty sure it's 14. Now, I know I've been... 2015, excuse me. I've been reviewing films from the last decade because I've been wanting to catch up. And they've all been hits. They've all been home runs. The only real rant, I guess, would have been Hereditary, but that's just on the ending. I thought Hereditary was a very well-made film. That streak ends here with 2015's The Gallows. What a stupid fucking movie. Every school has its spirit. Alright. First of all, I knew I was in trouble when it had that stamp of death. I don't know how we can see that. Blumhouse. That name of death for me, that usually means it's gonna suck. Because, I mean, for every, like, Insidious is Conjuring Blumhouse? I'm pretty sure Conjuring's Blumhouse. For every Insidious or Conjuring or ones like that, you get about 12.5 of these Paranormal Activities. That new Fantasy Island, I don't know why anyone would want to see. Now, first off, I'm not the biggest fan of found footage. I don't count Cannibal Holocaust, but if we do count it, that would be my favorite. I don't count it as found footage because it's sort of half and half. If we're talking straightforward, start to finish found footage, I would say Blair Witch is my favorite. It does what it has to do. Makes it feel real. It's all mood, atmosphere. Yeah, you don't see anything, but they make it work. That's why Jaws is scary. I like Rec 1 and 2. I actually like them a lot. I even like Quarantine. Behind the Mask of the Rise of Leslie Vernon, I would say is more like Cannibal Holocaust. It's like a found footage within a conventional film. Diary of the Dead, I'm not a fan of. Zombie Diaries, both of them suck ass. I hate both Grave Encounters. Really dislike Paranormal Activity. I hate Paranormal Activity. I respect the first one. The rest suck. This is no different. This is like if you take Blair Witch, Grave Encounters, and literally the worst kinds of people that you would see in a slasher film, and put it into school. You get the Gallows. Like, literally, you're centered on these 4 kids who, I know slashers you're supposed to have, well, in the 80s, slashers was sort of like a Breakfast Club group of everybody, but from the 90s on, it's all pretty gorgeous CW, jocks and cheerleaders, looks like. This is the most douchebaggery, fuckhead, like Abercrombie, faux hawk, jock, douche cast that you can imagine. It opens up, it's all centered around this play called The Gallows. It opens up in 1993, where the part in the play when a character is going to be hanged, the trapdoor actually opens and the kid is hanged, is a freak accident. Then we jump to 2013, and you have this kid Reese, which everyone in this movie goes by their real name. Reese, Ryan, Pfeiffer, and Cassidy. Ryan and Cassidy are together, the cheerleader and the fucking douchebag jock. Reese, who, he was on the football team, but he really likes this girl Pfeiffer, so he got into drama. He's the head of the play, she's the female lead. Ryan is, I guess, in drama because he's friends with Reese, but he's the guy that's filming it. Like, he's the one that sits up in the booth and films it. So that's the reason why, like, I also know in found footage, you have to film everything, or else you don't have a movie. But some of the ideas in this, because when we see Ryan and Reese with their douchey, meathead jocks at practice with the airheaded, never shut up fucking cheerleaders, the stereotypical Revenge of the Nerds drama kids walk by. Ryan throws a football at one, hits him in the face. So later on, that same kid who's the stage director pranks Ryan. So Ryan convinces Reese to break into the school at night and sabotage the stage, the set. And of course, Cassidy wants to be a part of it, but she's pretty much dead weight that never shuts up. And while they're in there, fucked up shit starts happening. I mean, first it's all fun and games. They're messing with the set on the stage. Ryan breaks into that kid's locker and fucks with his stage director clothes. I mean, Which, one, that's stupid. I understand, found footage. You have to film everything because then you have a movie. But they're filming themselves breaking into a school. Breaking and entering. So if anything is fucked up, I mean, that's all evidence. So, one, these characters are already incredibly stupid. On top of just being very unlikable. Especially Ryan and Cassidy. I mean, I guess Reese is the better of the two male leads. And Pfeiffer, because she's like the innocent drama girl. Which, she's there because she sees Reese's car and wants to see what they're doing. And at first, the spooky stuff is alright. Like, when Ryan's fucking with the kid's clothes in his locker, we see a locker above him, paranormal activity. Slowly opening, slowly closing, then slamming. But it does this thing where, as that's happening, there's like this, which, is that an ominous score? Is it the sound of the activity? Because if it's a score, then this fails the same reason Zombie Diaries fails. Found footage, which we all know it's fake, but it's supposed to sell the idea that it's real. You lose that the second you put a score on it. So then, Pfeiffer, Cassidy's all pissed off because she wants to leave and they can't get out. All the doors are locked, even though the locks don't really do anything. So, yeah. Like Blair Witch, they can't get out of the woods, they can't get out of the school, or Grave Encounters because they're locked in. Only they did it on purpose at Grave Encounters. But also, like, nothing happens. But people want to shit on Blair Witch because nothing happens, you don't see anything. What the fuck happens in this movie? Blair Witch, at least the shit you don't see, they're still building tension with atmosphere and mood and setting. The woods are fucking creepy. I grew up in the woods. They're fucking scary. So when you're hearing noises out in the darkness behind the trees, that's fucking creepy. And going around in circles, like, there's still tension in the atmosphere. It creates a mood. Here, like, yeah, you can make a dark school look creepy, but it's about as creepy as Grave Encounters, which is one of the most boring horror films I've ever seen, along with Annabelle. Because I think it tries to go the Blair Witch Jaws approach, which is what you don't see or what little you see is scary. Like, they get back to the stage and it's all put back together. They're backstage, Ryan looks up and he sees like the silhouette of someone hanging, like directly above him. And on the back, like, don't say his name. Ryan is, antagonizing because the kid's name that died in the play 20 years ago is Charlie. So he's like, oh, is Charlie fucking with us? Is it all Charlie? Because they come across a TV that shows the news report that Charlie wasn't supposed to play that character. He was actually an understudy. He was supposed to be the hangman. Which there's no tape in the VCR for the TV. It just plays itself. So, like, Ryan tries climbing a ladder to get through a vent. And he just keeps taunting Charlie, and he flies off the ladder. Then at one point, he gets sucked way up with a noose, never to be seen again. We find out that Reese's dad, who we see him give shit, like, you'll quit the football team, you finish what you start, I don't want you doing this play. So we think he's a douchey, meathead sports dad who probably wants to live his life, his glory days, vicariously through his son. No, we find out his dad was supposed to be the lead in the play 20 years ago, but he backed out. So then Charlie died for no reason. And sort of like Blair Witch, eventually, I don't even remember what happened to Cassidy. I don't care. It's Reese and Pfeiffer. They're just running around everywhere. Eventually, you kind of see Charlie, which he has his hangman mask on. And I missed why they were doing this. Shit. Why they decided to... he keeps chasing them down. Well, he chases them up, but then they end up back down on the stage. He wants them to reenact the scene. So they do. Reese puts the noose around his neck. We see the camera kind of glitch, and when it glitches, we see the apparition of Charlie behind him as the hangman. He hangs. Pfeiffer just stands there. And this twist was even more stupid. I didn't think it was clever. It was predictable. The reason why Pfeiffer's standing there not alarmed or concerned is because we then cut to police footage arriving at the school where he goes in this room and he sees Pfeiffer and, was it her mother? Yeah. Pfeiffer and her mother watching the same like TV that had the news report, and they just keep saying like, don't say his name, don't say his name. And then the cop goes in another room, gets dragged with a noose while the other cop is filming everything. Find out Pfeiffer is the daughter of Charlie and his girlfriend Alexis from back then. Which would mean she's 20 years old in high school. I mean, okay. Yeah, because it's 93 to 2013. If that's when he died, okay, she must have at the very least been pregnant. At the very earliest. Even then, she would still be 20 years old in high school. So the twist doesn't work. It's not even sweater logic where you pull a tiny little thread and it all falls apart. It's already fallen the fuck apart. Yeah, that winning streak of the last decade of horror movies being home runs. And with the screeching fucking halt with this. There's a reason this has a 15 on Rotten Tomatoes. It did get a sequel called The Gallows Act 2, which came out last year. Goes in completely the different direction. I've seen clips of it. It's like a viral, like a viral challenge, like a viral video that just makes everyone kill themselves. I haven't seen it. If it's as bad as this, I don't give a shit. Yeah, I put this up there with Grave Encounters 1 and 2 for just terrible Blumhouse, found footage, paranormal horror that has just plagued the genre for the last 10, 15 years. I thought this movie was fucking stupid. Thank you for watching.